science fiction on a screen so bright. Old classics and the new delights. The unapologetic geek will lead the way, with facts and fun to fill your day. Discussing every detail, every frame, from the eerie to the loud and the same. Gig along with all that's great, those Sunday vibes you can't debate. Tug along with the Sunday crew, geeking out is what we do. Giggle on, it's gonna be great. Don't be late, let's celebrate.
Hi.
Greetings from South Carolina.
Hello in Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's in Ohio.
Or dead in Ohio.
Oh gosh.
Not just Ohio, the beginning of Ohio and going to the top.
That's the worst part. The whole thing.
Yeah, all of Ohio.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
But on the state side, it really has
Like,
a Ohio.
I went through going the other way. I was going to Indiana, so I went from Pennsylvania into Indiana. So
that's the way I did it. I went from Pennsylvania here. When I was moving here, I went from Pennsylvania to St. Louis, and that drive through Ohio just sucked. So
Meet
long.
me in St. Louis.
This is pretty bad.
Anyway, I want to say hi to the people in the chat. We've got Vin van der Straten, as always.
Hey, man.
Vimmy.
Gary Carpenter is back.
He's back.
Carolyn is here, as always. Good to see you, Carolyn.
Justy.
See, Freeside.
Freeside.
Michael DiCosimo from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Hello.
MC.
And of course, AM is here as well.
AM. I finally made that stick.
And it's Snoopy Games. Greetings.
Snoopy?
Hang on, Snoopy. Snoopy, hang on.
That's Snoopy.
I work with what I got.
Okay, that was not me.
War games. Yeah.
That was my truck.
Red wire, green wire. Red wire, green wire.
You want to play a game?
Global thermonuclear war.
Yeah,
Anyway, today we're going to talk about sequels. Thankfully, as far as I know, there haven't been any sequels to War Games, and I hope they never will be.
There was a sequel to The Day After, though.
That's
No, I made that up.
what?
It's called The Day After Next.
Anyway, yeah, we're going to talk about sequels, but we're actually going to talk about sequels that are either as good or better than the original. Although I'm sure we will have some disagreements on this.
disagreement.
But for my list, I actually made a lot of obvious ones, so I'm hoping the rest of you have more obscure ones. So I'm going to start with the easiest one of all. I think the one that we'll all probably agree on, and that's Star Trek II.
Hey, let's took
You
mine
knew that was mine, boy. You knew I didn't have that anyway.
I was always planning to start with it.
I knew it.
Look, I've been a defender of Star Trek: The Motion Picture as a Robert Wise movie, as a science fiction movie, but as a Star Trek movie, I agree it's not that great. Whereas Star Trek II, as Danny was saying in the green room before we started, Star Trek II is like the essence of Star Trek. Like the original series of Star Trek in movie form, you have Star Trek II. And I think it's the best Star Trek movie, period. Like the only competition is maybe Star Trek 6, but Star Trek 2 is just, it's classic. Yeah. So what else? I mean, we have lots we could say about Star Trek 2, so I'm just going to shut up and let you guys talk.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. Literally.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about Star Trek 1 is it's not a bad film.
No,
it's just
not
a particularly interesting film. It was almost like they were trying to reinvent it, and they didn't know how to reinvent Star Trek. They tried to make it a little more heady. It's like what made Star Trek fun was that was humor and action, and there simply is no humor in action in Star Trek 1. When they went back to basics, it's like, yes, this is why we love Star Trek. But again, it's got Persis Khambatta, who was amazing. There is the great chemistry but between the cast members. When McCoy goes into his rant about he was drafted, I mean, that's some great stuff there. It was fun. But again, I don't want to be too mean to Star Trek 1, but Star Trek 2 is definitely far superior.
Yes, agreed. And just like you said, I think Star Trek: The Motion Picture is actually, it's a fine movie. It's decent. There's nothing that
Yeah,
wrong with
it's
it.
a good piece
But
of
as a Star
writing.
Trek movie, it just doesn't work.
Mhm.
You know what
Definitely.
killed it? I don't get me wrong. When Star Trek: The Motion Picture come out, I loved it. I thought at least it was something new and it was something Star Trek. I did not like the way they went with the look of it, trying to go more like 2001: A Space
Yeah,
Odyssey.
definitely trying to be
Okay.
Trying to
television.
reach for that futuristic look. And the biggest mistake I think they made were changing out the uniforms so much that they become drab and boring. It was
Colorless. Yeah.
It brought down the whole tone of the movie, the lack of color. When
Yeah,
they
even the whole bridge, the Enterprise bridge was like completely colorless. It was like sterile.
when they reinvested in
Sterile.
throughout the con, the uniforms were red, the action was out there, and everything looked bolder and more colorful. And that's why it helped lead to a better movie, I think.
Agreed.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's so
And
rare
also,
to
you have William Shatner and Ricardo Montalban trying to outact each other. It's great.
Montalban, man, con. dude.
Winky and leather, baby.
But my favorite factoid about Ricardo Montalban, and it's actually said right before he had played Khan in the series, he had hurt his back, and he manned through it, but he was actually in agony. That's why he didn't do a lot of like action. But when he swaggers, he has his hand on his side, like, you know, Puss in Boots or something very, very regal, very cavalier. And it was because he was in agony and he was trying to hold his
Oh,
spine
wow.
together while he was walking.
But he
And-
made it work. That became like an affectation of his character.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It's amazing, and it shows how truly professional Montalban was.
Now,
In the
another thing-
original script for Star Trek
Yeah.
2, he and Kirk were supposed to have a sword fight, like an Errol Flynn like sword fight. But
Wow.
if you actually watch the movie, they're never in the same room together. They actually never met on set during
Wow,
the
I didn't
production of
know
Star
that.
Trek
Another
2.
thing, real quick, is Ricardo Montalban. If you notice in the movie, the dude is so jacked up for somebody.
Yeah, that's not a fake chest piece. That's his real
No.
chest.
How-
geez.
I don't know. It's like Vince McMahon or something at 70. You know.
You know, it's funny. Like, they were doing this whole thing about it. It was an old SNL bit, "Kies Mas Machos," who was more badass, and it was like, and what they would do is they would take South American or Latino actors that like we kind of think of in more comedic roles, and just how truly badass they are. Cesar Romero. If you see some of his earlier work, see exactly. But we think of him as the Joker. No, he was a heartthrob, and he was ripped. He
Oh,
was a really good-looking man. So it's just funny.
he was a good-looking guy.
He was.
He played all those love interests, you know, in all those movies back in the day.
Good. But I would have loved to have seen a Errol Flynn, Tyrone Power-esque sword fight between the two of them.
Mhm.
Frankly, though,
That'd
I
be
don't
worth
think
it.
Shatner would be very good with a sword.
No,
Mhm.
Ricardo Montalban would have like just
Yes.
mopped the floor with him just from looks alone. I love William Shatner. Don't get me wrong, Danny. I love William Shatner. He's great.
Oh,
He's the
love
man.
to death.
But come
Love
on,
to death.
in a sword fight,
I'm trying to
put the
remember.
sword down and try to do that like double fisted
I
punch.
know there's one out there. I just can't remember the movie. But there was a Shatner with a sword one time. I swear.
I'll
Okay.
take your word for it.
I thought I
He
saw
fights with that
Absolutely
battle
agree.
ask in
Oh yeah.
yeah, but that's on a sword.
Or he can make that bomb out of the PVC pipe like he did with the Gorn. Yeah.
I love the Gorn.
Well, hair today, Gorn
Uh,
tomorrow.
That's right. Nothing like a reborn Gorn.
I absolutely agree with that pick. I never got into Star Trek the show, and I was probably about 10 years ago. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna sit down and watch these Star Trek movies, and I got to like The one where they brought in Patrick Stewart, whichever movie
Yeah.
that was.
That was like 7, so you made it pretty far.
Yeah, and I stopped. I think I stopped around Nemesis, and
Well, I think that was the
out
last
of
one.
all of that, yeah, Wrath of Khan. I was just like, I really enjoyed that one.
That's the most fun. I think it's the best one.
Okay. In
Yeah,
1962,
just
an episode of a TV show called The Naked City, William Shatner used a sword in the episode called Without Stick or Sword. I told you I saw him use a sword before. He also in 2025 did an Instagram thing where he's training samurais.
Apparently, it was also a movie about Alexander the Great, and he had a sword fight, according to Indy.
You know who else was in that movie, by the way?
No idea.
Adam West.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
You had Shatner and Batman in the same show together.
It's amazing
Yeah,
the
no
universe
kidding.
didn't collapse in on itself. Anyway, hi, Brogu. How's it going?
Ooh.
Okay, Danny. I know I stole one of your choices.
Oh, one of them stole my star, bud.
So the choice.
Oh my Lord.
It's
But
my
I'm going to
show.
go with the horror movie because
That's
that's my specialty.
Don't cry
And
for
I'm
one
going to go
stone.
with why I think Friday the 13th Part 2 is better than Friday the 13th Part 1. The original Friday the 13th is a masterpiece. The original Friday the 13th had mom doing some killing. And you can't go wrong anytime Kevin Bacon gets wasted.
True.
You really can't. But the Friday the 13th Part 2 was better because it introduced Jason as the killer and introduced the character that would go on to become multi-dimensional, multi-sequel, and provide more entertainment for the horror fans than any other character in horror movie history, with the possible exception of Michael Myers, who fell drastically downhill lately.
Yeah, I do think Friday the 13th Part 2 is a better movie. Friday the 13th is just like a generic slasher, and that's what it was made to be, a generic
Ooh.
slasher movie. Like that was from the ground up, that's what it was supposed to be. Whereas Friday the 13th Part 2, yeah, it's still a generic slasher. Still a Friday the 13th movie, but I feel like it's actually trying to do something a little bit more. Like the characters have more depth. Like the final girl in that movie, that's the one where she like puts on the sweater and tries to pretend like she's mom to confuse Jason, right? I thought she was, she was intelligent. She was like trying to use the tools at her disposal to defeat Jason. And you don't see that very often in any of the Friday the 13th movies. It's like her and the psychic girl from Part 7, and that's about it. Yeah, Friday the 13th Part 2, it set the template that the rest of the series follows. Sure, he didn't get his hockey mask yet, but still. Yeah.
Actually, I will actually say, to me, the sequels get progressively better up until Part 4.
I like
Part
5.
4 too, but when it gets to 5 and 6 and 10 and 12, it goes a little bit out there.
I know 5 was batshit, but I loved it. I don't know.
I love the one where Jason's in space, and what's that, Part 27 or something?
A dude gets killed with a road flare.
I like the one where he goes to Manhattan and he punches that guy's head off. It's great.
One thing I actually point out that when
That's
you
a
talk
great
Friday
scene.
the 13th, you talk sequels, more than one of the sequels are better than the original.
Yeah, sure.
For way different reasons.
But guys, okay, I'm willing to grant number 2 is very good quality. I think it didn't start going downhill until 3, and that's only because they were trying too hard with the 3D effects to actually give story.
Yeah, 3 is
I
very
think the
silly.
Yeah, exactly, because they were trying too hard to make it cool. 2 is very solid. Again, we actually see Jason as the villain, so technically 2 is actually 1, and 1 is a prequel.
There you go.
But come on, one of the greatest twists in cinema history is in 1. One of the greatest jump scares of all time is in 1. The whole expositional story arc. Exposition is difficult in a horror film because it detracts from the action. The exposition I thought was perfectly done. I can't in good conscience say 2 is better than 1. But I mean, I understand your sentiment. I'm not trying to be a
No, that's
thrash
fair.
here, but I do think 1 was still better.
Thrash, I totally agree with a lot of what you say. And I had the same thought because it was really hard for me to get past part 1 where you actually see Kevin Bacon get killed.
That's your favorite part, huh?
It almost made part 1 better. It really did.
I do think the kills in part 1 are more memorable than the
But
kills
once
in part
again,
2.
you get to the point where the whole thing becomes about Jason, and that's where the about Jason really begins, is in part 2. And
I do
that's
like
what-
how part 2 starts by telling you the story of part 1 as like a campfire story. I think that was pretty clever.
But let me point out that my favorite Jason movie is probably Jason Lives with the Alice Cooper soundtrack.
All right. Alice Cooper. Woo!
Well, he goes back to life with the lightning crap. You know, it's over.
That
the
one's a
top.
lot of fun. Like that's the one where they finally leaned into it just being goofy. Like we're gonna have fun with Friday the 13th, and it works so well.
I think a lot of it was the Alice Cooper soundtrack too.
Anyway, Shane, what do you got?
Well, when you said the obvious, I thought you were going to say this one, so let's go ahead and do it. Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Yeah, if anybody knows me, knows I would not say that.
Oh, really?
I take
Well.
issues.
Really?
I know it's a very minority opinion,
Well.
so go ahead. You say your piece.
All right, we'll take a story out of it. Just a simple fact that Cameron came up from the low budgetness of part 1 to having that money is just like, all right, let's do these special effects some justice, and just absolutely nailed it with part 2. Between the whole Arnie models and the makeup, the liquid effects for Robert Patrick. Robert Patrick himself is the reason I love that movie, is the intense training and dedication he put into that character, training himself not to blink when he fired a gun, keeping that stoic look. He did a lot of cross training, running. Allegedly, that dirt bike scene, he was actually chasing that kid on that dirt bike, and
Wow.
they toned down the CCs on it, so he could actually run after, well, the stunt rider anyway. Allow the practical stunts that were done, the stuntman that jumped the motorcycle off the canal, whatever, spillway,
Yep.
them running that tow truck off of there, even though there's a mess up right there when that thing's total. But anyway, we don't talk about that. But
Car physics in movies, you know.
the evolution of Sarah Connor, that was peak Sarah Connor, and Dark Fate had to go and erase all that. Thank you, Dark Fate. And Arnie with a minigun. I mean, like, you couldn't go wrong with that. You shoot all those cops at the top of that building and hit no one. I'm like, well, I guess you're a robot. Okay, fine, I'll give you that. But that's the I say the color pop too on it. The difference between how part 1 is so dark and feels the scene looks foggy, as part 2 feels more dynamic, more fruitful, more bright, juice, vibrant. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah,
Well, the first movie
Terminator
was
2.
filmed off of like Roger Corman's stock film. Like he just had some film left over and gave it to James Cameron. So that's why Terminator looks the way it does.
yeah. I still
It
got
worked
great
though.
fun
It
with
really worked.
Oh, it totally works.
I like the raw raunchiness look of the first Terminator a lot.
The one thing I will agree with you on, Shane, is that in the sequel you've got Sarah Connor. This version of Sarah Connor is the best version of Sarah Connor, hands down, no question. She's still like, you can kind of see underneath all of this like hardened exterior and this badass chick. She's still like that vulnerable Sarah Connor from the first movie is still in there. It's just she's been so jaded and so broken by what's happened and what's going to happen that, you know, she's turned herself into a Terminator herself, basically. And I thought that characterization is great. Terminator 2 is a bigger, prettier, it's got better effects. Robert Patrick is also very, very cool. I will give you that. It's probably Robert Patrick's best role.
Hands down. Hands down.
Oh, and we get to meet Linda Hamilton's twin sister.
That's
You know,
true.
I'm not going to say I like it better, but I will say that the Terminator movies are equal to me because I do like them all equal. I
I
Can't
cannot
pick
say
one
that.
more than the other on them. I really can't.
Ugh.
Well, one thing is the scene, and Joe Morton is a hidden gem in the film. I thought he did an outstanding job in that film as well. The scene though where Sarah goes rogue and she breaks into his house to kill him, and he thinks it's just a robbery. And there's that scene where he says, "Do anything you want to me, just don't hurt the children." And it's like all of a sudden she was in Terminator mode, but she's still human, and she clicks back in, and it's just like, and
Right.
that scene is just so powerful and outstanding, and you don't expect something like that in a Cameron film. It just it in and of itself, I think, gives it an extra edge. Also, one thing, the sequence where it shows the future wars between the humans and the Terminator forces, and it's so outstanding. There was talk of actually doing that as a movie. Unfortunately, it sort of degenerated into the Sarah Connor Chronicles and some references in the third movie. But they wanted to make a movie that was simply the Terminator Wars, and I wish they had, because that sequence was just.
It ended up becoming a riot at Universal, didn't it?
Yeah. The T2 ride was actually a lot of fun.
I could say that movie was a lot more lavishly produced than the first one. It looked
Well
like,
stated.
of course, more money in the game too.
No,
The money.
no. Remember, Reese had some really powerful scenes in the future in T1. There's that scene where they're in like the El Camino when he's firing the gun off the back end, and don't get me wrong, those are really good too. But the Terminator War segment in the second one, that just blew me away.
Fair enough. Yep, my issues with Terminator 2 are more nitpicky writer issues. Like, I can't believe that they were written by the same person, because Terminator 2 is completely contradicting everything that Terminator 1 says is contradicted completely by Terminator 2, but we don't need to get into it.
There's a whole Rick and Morty which makes fun of time travel oopsie-daisies. Most of them are from Terminator 2.
But yeah, Terminator,
Oh.
it got even worse with Terminator. Like, some of the later Terminator sequels are just a joke.
Terminator 2, I wrote a page of notes about this. I was watching some years ago. I had to find it. When John and Arnold are underneath the truck fixing it, and John's talking to him about all that stuff, it was just like something he said there. It was like destroys everything. And it was just like, wait a minute. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something in that conversation as he's talking to Arnold.
It was a
Something he said.
midichlorian moment.
Mhm.
And even thematically, the two movies are polar opposites. Like, the theme of the first one is all about like accepting your lot in life, and the sequel is all about like, you can do whatever you want. Fate's not what you make it. It's like, those are the exact opposite themes.
I don't know. I think you're failing to take into consideration during the events of the first movie, their actions changed the future.
No, it
So-
didn't. It couldn't have, because Kyle Reese came back in time to sire John Connor. So like, it's a loop.
Yeah,
Can't
but-
break
but
that.
It did change the rotation of what's going on in the future. That's why the other Terminators come back.
If you think about it too hard, it doesn't make any sense, because if you
Yeah.
can change the future, then like Terminator 1 couldn't have happened because it's a loop. Whereas if you can't change the future, then why are the Terminators going back in time to begin with?
Well, it's funny going back to the person who started the whole thing, Harlan Ellison. There's a line in Soldier which I have read several times. In fact, there's different versions. There's somewhere there's slightly more material than others, because again, he ended up writing it as a teleplay. But one of the professors who befriends Quarlo says, "I can't help but wonder if this whole peace movement that comes out of finding Quarlo is going to somehow trigger the global war." And it's like, ooh. The more you try to change the future, the more you set it exactly in the span it's
Right.
going to be. So it's kind of a cop-out, but you have to remember Harlan was the one who came up with it in the first place. And someday I'll
Harlan
read
would not
Paradox
let
so I
you
can
forget
actually...
that, so it's okay.
You know, every time we get stuck talking about these time travel things, for some reason, I sense a paradox. There's a paradox.
Money somewhere around here.
I've got to read Paradox. Yeah.
Paradox.
There's a paradox.
Oh, it's on my bookshelf.
I love the free plug. Thank you, Danny. That's why I keep you on the show.
Think about
I
that,
love the
wouldn't
TV show, The Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles. I thought it was way better than it had any right to be. I thought it was great. And Shirley Manson is a liquid Terminator. Come on.
it?
You mean
And
Summer
Summer
Glau?
No, Summer Glau was a regular Terminator.
Stuff, you know?
Shirley
Oh, I didn't
Manson
see
was
that
was the liquid Terminator from season 2.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, the show kind of went off the rails, so I kind of like fell out. I'm
No,
not
as
sure
soon
what
as they
happened
bring
to
in
it.
Shirley Manson, it goes right back on the rails, man.
Oh,
It's really good.
Well,
Anyway.
we could really do a whole show about Terminators.
I've been threatening to do that one of these days. Just to talk about Terminator.
It's the Terminator show.
We're going to do it all with Terminator comic books to spice things up.
But as someone who likes to nitpick time travel and is very, very clear on time travel rules, Terminator is an endlessly frustrating franchise.
Fair.
Because it doesn't even follow its own rules.
No, it doesn't. Even
No,
within
it
like their
doesn't.
own movies, they break them.
But Star Trek did that too.
True. Star Trek does that all the
Doctor Who
time.
did it,
Yeah.
too.
One of the things I love about the Star
Doctor
Trek TV show is that
Who
if they have a
does
time travel episode, they can have like different rules for time travel for different episodes.
Yeah. That's what I noticed about Doctor Who too. It's like we're not supposed to, like, according to I guess the doctor thing is you don't mess with what's are happening, so you're changing the trajectory of the year or the time period.
Right.
But somehow it does. It goes back on itself and its premise. It's like, well, okay, then you save these people. If the doctor saved people from the Daleks or Cybermen, guess what? That's a change of the way it probably would have regularly have gone down if he was not there.
Most definitely.
But I'll grant it's hard to set a story in a universe where like you can't change the future. Like that makes it very hard to craft a story where you're like you can't actually change the universe you've set the story in. So as somebody who has tackled with that problem, I understand it. Okay, so what do you got, Thrash?
Oh, I'm up. Oh, cool. I've been having fun just interjecting. I am going to go with one of my more obscure ones first. And I'm going to do one. This is actually for my childhood. I'm going to go with Breaking Bears 2 in Breaking Training. And the Bad News Bears, I'm dating myself, but the Bad News Bears was like this iconic movie when I was a kid about it was sort of like the Mighty Ducks in the 70s. It's about a little league team that's going nowhere, and because they find a coach, they're actually able to become a good team. The first movie, though good, was kind of dark for a kid's film. Walter Matthau plays an abusive alcoholic. There's a lot going on that this isn't a kid's movie, although in the 70s that was a big thing, so it kind of was. But but the Bad News Bears in Breaking Training was more of a comedic romp. It's a road film. William Devane is far more approachable than Walter Matthau. Don't get me wrong, I love Walter Matthau, but Butterman was not a nice person. And it feels more like a kid's movie. So I remember my mother took me to see it when I was like 10 or 11. I forget. I was a kid, and but I remember saying that I liked it more than the original, even though it didn't have Tatum O'Neal. Yeah, not Tatum O'Neal.
I thought it had Jodie Foster in it.
As soon as I said Tatum O'Neal, I meant to say Jodie Foster. Thank you.
Yeah, the little girl down the lane.
I can honestly say that I despise both them movies equally.
Fair enough.
I've only ever seen the first
Hold
one with
back.
Walter Matthau. I've never seen the sequel, so I have no opinion.
Oh man, Bad News Bears goes to Japan. Come on now.
Tony Curtis. I deliberately didn't bring that one up, but I knew that one wasn't going to fly big. That's why I did it. Usually,
But I congratulate you on bringing up two baseball movies that I actually have seen.
Where's Indy when we need it? Not Indy. Where's Superplex when we need him the most? He always says I never talk about sports.
Calling them movies the sports movies is loosely calling them movies a sports movie.
No, Tracy, I didn't catch it. Did you see either one of them when you were kids? We were
Yes.
kids.
Oh yeah.
Which
Grew
one
up
did
on
you
those
think was
movies.
better?
I like the second one.
Well, there you go.
Remember what I was
mean,
telling
because
you
the first one,
backstage about
he's kind of rough. Matthau. He's kind of like,
Oh, would you say, Dan?
I'm sorry.
Okay, Dan, speak.
I said, remember, Tug, I was telling you about a 12-year-old girl's list of movies?
Yeah.
That would be on it.
Bad News Bears, really?
Yeah.
Now, Tracy, you finish. What do you say?
No. I was just gonna say something stupid, but no. Yeah, no, I like that movie. I thought that Walter Matthau was just as rough as Tom Hanks was rough in the
League of Their Own.
League of the, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I couldn't
Words are hard.
right there, and I couldn't vomit it out. But yeah, no, I appreciated that movie, but I like the second one better. I think he just gelled better. That the actor played the
William
coach in
Devane.
second.
Yeah. I like
mhm.
William Devane, but I've never seen that movie. So
Yeah, he's a little bit more approachable in that way. But it was like seeing Matthau was like him spitting and scratching and doing the things that Tom Hanks. It's like,
Well, the
okay.
thing where he throws the beer in her face and she
Mhm.
makes her cry. I'm like, dude, it's a kid's film. What are you doing? I was a kid when
Yeah.
I thought that.
Yeah, stigmatized me for a moment.
Abusive alcoholism isn't something kids find entertaining. Especially in the 70s.
Come on.
different
Walter
time, man.
Matthau in that movie was the only part of it that even seemed real.
I
I mean,
must
you're not
say,
wrong.
I knew a lot of men like Walter Matthau in the 70s. I'll give you that much.
Me too.
I did too.
Oh, my dad's friends were like that.
Anyway, I got to say hi to a couple of new people in the chat. We got Form Content or however you want to pronounce it. Roger Blair. Not sure if I said hi to you yet. Slasher Fred. Good to see you again. Kirst is here.
I don't see him anymore.
There was somebody else. Oh, Snarky's here. Hello, Snark.
Snark. I love you, girl.
Snark.
I think I got everybody, but if I missed anybody, sorry. It's hard to keep up with the chat and the topic at the same time. And according to Indy, those movies were PG. I'm sure today they come with like a disclaimer in front of
Yeah, right.
Disney Channel or something.
Everything in the 70s.
Problematic
was a
behavior.
Disclaimer.
When I say kids, I meant like, the sort of 9 to 13 age bracket, not little kids. But when they came out, I was actually old enough to go see them even by myself. But like I say, Breaking Bears, I keep saying Breaking Bears. Bad News Bears 2, Breaking Training felt more like a movie that kids would enjoy. But
It's like the kids grew up and started selling meth, Breaking Bears.
The Bears.
I'm calling it lemonade this week.
That's funny.
that actually would work, because Little League teams travel.
Mhm.
So you can smuggle the meth in with their equipment.
There you go. See?
Oh.
There's something to that.
You need a Gatorade bottle saved.
If we keep talking, we're going to get spotted on by the FBI. So I think we
That's
stop
true, that's true.
kidding here.
I don't know. We're just spitballing screenplay ideas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tracy, what have you got?
It's not like better than the first. I think the first was much better, but I've always been a fan of Rocky. Having crush on
Rocky
Sylvester
too.
Stallone was like my first movie crush ever. But I think that the reason why is because you see more of him trying to live this lifestyle that he's not really used to yet, or it's been imposed upon him, and he's breaking down. And then the thing too is like you get to see him actually go the distance this time. I mean, and actually win the fight. First time around was beautiful with him and Creed, but if it was a real fight, Creed would have had him down in 30 seconds. But
Yeah, they had to end it that way, or else it just wouldn't be believable. Because the first movie is all gritty and realistic.
Yeah. But I mean, I liked the second one just fine. After that, I thought it got kind of bad.
I'm a fan of all the Rocky movies except 5. I even like the Creed movies. They're basically just soap operas for men. That's all they are.
Yeah, but I like them
But I love
too. Yeah, like I saw the one.
I agree with you. Any movie with Hulk Hogan in it is better than part 1.
Thank you.
Gee, I can't imagine why you would like number 3.
I mean, like
The sequels are better.
Yeah, well, that's a different story. But I mean, I'm just saying, in general, I thought that stupid robot was unnecessary.
Well, yeah, the robot was very dumb. Yeah.
I mean, where did this come from? It's like more.
3 is my favorite. Oh,
It's like, what the hell was that? But I mean, I like the one where eventually you find out, spoiler alert, that Adrian passes, and that really broke me up because at that time my mom had passed away in real life too. So it's like, oh, did that movie tear me up another? I mean, I was sitting there crying. But you wouldn't. I didn't expect her not to be in there. I love Talia Shire. I think she's one of the best actresses ever.
Oh yeah, she's great.
And she's in The Godfather and stuff too.
Which I'm pretty sure we'll talk about.
Ironically, I love the Rocky movie, but it was for everybody else in the movie but Sylvester Stallone. Big Burgess Meredith fan. Everybody else was much better. Even the guy who played Polly, the little goopy guy, is even better than Stallone. And all
he was really good.
And all the sequels were better than the first one.
Okay, even Felicia Rashad, who's like a bit part as Apollo's wife, she's great.
Yeah. Wasn't she in the second one?
Yeah, she's in the second one, and then she shows up again way later, like in the Creed movies. But yeah, she was in I think Rocky 2. Yeah.
But one of the things I like about Rocky 2 is that Apollo Creed becomes a more rounded out rival.
Yeah,
he was almost caricature, almost like two-dimensional in the first one, which is fine. Which you can have two-dimensional villains, but the best villains, the best battle arcs are when you can empathize with both sides. And as he was a much more rounded adversary in the second one, I thought that made the second one a better film. So
and it culminated with them in the third movie sparring in the ring with the Eye of the Tiger playing. It's great.
Well, and they become friends, which does happen with rivals.
Awesome. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. Fraser,
some of my best friends are former enemies. In fact, I think my enemies are better people than most of my friends. No offense. I don't know.
I learned that lesson in elementary school. I got into a giant fight with this kid that I hated. I couldn't stand him. We fought over a girl. I don't even remember what happened to the girl, but we became best friends for like years.
Oh, there you go.
It's like me. I wasn't necessarily in with the in crowd per se in high school. I was more part of the artsy fartsy crowd myself, being punky and everything else.
I was one of the weird
one girl who was a part of the in crowd. She was a cheerleader. I never really liked her at all in high school, but all of a sudden we're really, really good Facebook friends, and we can't live without each other gossiping about this one or that. I mean, it's up into our hatred. I was enjoying that.
And yes, Cursed, we have talked about Terminator 2.
Yeah, so it's your life changes and you get older, blah blah blah.
And according to Indy, Felicia Rashad was not the wife in the second movie. I mean, I know she was Apollo Creed's wife later, so maybe, maybe I'm just getting confabulated in my brain.
I know it was the first.
I do that all the time.
Was playing the wife in the first movie, but it wasn't her.
I don't know.
It was.
Indy will probably look.
Felicia Rashad came in Creed.
Oh, she wasn't until Creed.
Yeah,
okay.
It's that movie ruins the entire Rocky timeline because for the time period for Creed to be as old as he was, it's impossible.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Like I said, if it was a real fight, man, Creed would have had him in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Everyone's Eddie Murphy's bit about that. I still think is the funniest thing in the entire universe. Look. The little Italian guy messing with the black dude, and it's like, look, we all loved Rocky, but the truth of the matter is, I could rip you in half.
We all did not love
Rocky. I just love that Eddie Murphy bit where the guy he's trying to cut him some slack. Like, look, man, I understand. We all love Rocky, but sorry. Politically incorrect humor, I love it.
Okay, well, it is now my turn again, and since I already mentioned it, let's go ahead and talk about The Godfather. I mean, it is the thumbnail of this
Never
video.
saw it.
No, you never
couldn't finish it.
Don't do that to me.
And of course, The Godfather Part 2 is great. I'm really talking about The Godfather Part 3 being one of the master classes of. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's not say that you can't take back.
I do actually believe The Godfather Part 2 is better than the original Godfather. No slight against the original Godfather. It is a classic piece of cinema and one of the greatest movies ever made. I just think Godfather 2 is a little bit better. You've got the whole arc with the brother. Why can't I think of his name?
Fredo.
Thank you, Fredo.
Don't be
That whole
afraid.
arc, you're breaking my heart, Fredo, and he like you're actually seeing the corruption of Michael Corleone becoming the Godfather.
Mhm.
It's a great inverse hero's journey. I think it is, like I said, I just think it's a better movie overall than the first movie. So there you go.
I can't say that because to me, I watched about 8 years ago. I sit and watched all the Godfather movies in one day, and now they all just seem to run together like one giant drama. I can't differentiate between part 1 and part 2 because it's like one long drama.
There's something called the Godfather Saga,
Yeah.
which they took both of them, re-edited them chronologically, and removed footage, and it's a masterpiece. It's absolutely phenomenal. So I
That
can
sounds
certainly
like
see
what I
that
said,
happening.
Bruce.
Yeah, and like Vin says, you can see them as like three parts of the same story, just like Star Wars or Lord of the
Mhm.
Rings. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a fourth one.
exactly. When
Yeah, I know.
Is-
We don't need to talk about
We don't talk about that one.
Oh, Lord.
it.
I know.
Well, let's face it, the two parallel timelines running along. I love story development like that, and De Niro was so
De Niro was great.
amazing
yes,
as the young Don. They also you tie in actual historic events, which is good for a period piece when you make
Yeah.
references to things going on at the time, with the Cuban Revolution,
Mhm.
and the dynamic between Roth and Michael is delicious. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, they're enemies,
Yes.
but it's just this web going back and forth, and how the whole thing is loosely based on the rivalry between Meyer Lansky
Mhm. Mhm.
and
Mhm.
the other Dons, and the fact that we find out, I already knew. I'm assuming most of you guys did as well, but Mo Green is of course loosely based on Bugsy Siegel,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
and Meyer Lansky saw himself as a big brother figure to Bugsy Siegel. In fact, kept him
Mhm.
alive for a lot of years when people did think he was skimming. So when he ultimately did get killed, that stayed with him, and it's the whole thing just kind of comes together. I think not only is 2 a nice independent work, but it's a love letter to the first and fleshes out all the things that we
Yeah.
saw in the first.
I can
So-
see that.
It's one of the best movies ever made.
Mhm. Definitely.
Completely
Period.
agreed. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie.
And you were talking about that parallel storylines. With you're watching the corruption of Michael Corleone at the same time you're watching the corruption of Don Corleone, with Robert De Niro. And yeah, like you can kind of compare and contrast their, like I was saying, inverse
Evolution.
hero's journey. And
Mhm.
I love that stuff. You know, as the film nerd in me just geeks out over that.
Yeah,
So
that's
much.
good stuff. Yeah, I like how it shows the progression.
And how he became, well, it starts out, first of all, he's just trying to stay straight. He just can't seem to keep a job because corrupt people are ruining his life. But then he meets Tessio and Clemenza, and they bring him in. They're a couple of petty hoods who basically did a favor. And he gets caught up and then becomes their bosses, not through intimidation, but through doing favors. Remember, he says, always remember I did this favor for you.
Yeah.
And that's what puts him in charge of the triumvirate with Tessio and Clemenza. In fact, that's the only thing that really bummed me out about the second one is they were supposed to have Clemenza, but he was doing a TV show at the time and was unavailable. And that's why they brought in, he was a fine actor, the guy who plays not Rosario, but the guy who actually did a bunch of other gangster movies and stuff. He was great. But I really wish they had Clemenza for part 2. They were supposed to.
Well, it's kind of like, I think if they had actually managed to get Robert Duvall to reprise his role in part 3, it would have made part 3
Oh.
so much better.
Yeah, I
hurt.
would have a better-
You know, put him in there and get rid of Sophia Coppola, and I think the movie would have been great.
oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, say it for what it
Yeah.
is, you know. I mean, a lot of these
Nepotism
movies
is a
do-
thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, very.
And she
big
did
thing.
turn out to be a good director. She's just a
Director.
horrible actress.
Yeah.
She's a good director.
One of the worst actresses to ever live.
That's some stiff competition there,
There are
lads.
some stiff competitions. I agree, but
Wow.
Dayton, Ohio.
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 Shane is still in Ohio.
Danton,
Okay, Dan.
Danton. Oh, sorry.
What else you got?
Me?
Yeah, you.
You see, I'm torn because if I don't bring up this movie, somebody else will. But I really want to do this one because of personal reasons. So I'm going to go with my number one choice here. And people are going to disagree with me. But I like the movie Tremors 2 a lot better than I like Tremors 1. I'm a big fan of the Tremors movies. I like them all. Everybody on the panel probably hates them all. But I like all the Tremors movies. But part 2 is a lot better than part 1 for one main reason. You know what that is, right? No Kevin Bacon. All the
That's the reason it's
sequels
not as good.
are better than part 1 because Kevin Bacon is not in them. So they automatically move up the ladder to being better. Of course,
Isn't
my
that the same
favorite
way you
one
feel
is probably part 4, I think. The old West one where they go back in time. The
Road to
retro
Perfection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to Perfection, where it's back in time, and that's probably my favorite of the bunch.
I
Sounds
think they
you
get
got the
progressively
same feelings
stupid.
towards him, Kevin Bacon, as you do Patrick Swayze.
I think you're a
can't
fan of the
stand
movie
Kevin Bacon
Sleepers.
for that total
God.
disloyalty to the horror movie film.
Sleepers is a great movie that I never ever want to see again.
It's so painful to watch, but Kevin Bacon plays such a horrible person.
he
I
is
figured Dan
so
would love it
evil.
for no other reason alone.
Kevin Bacon's actually a great villain when he plays one. Like there's one where he's like a Whitewater Rapids and he's like a scout leader, but he's like he's one of those things we can't say on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
I like any movie that Kevin Bacon does not survive being in.
Oh man.
Did he insult your family or something? You hate him more than I hate Mel Gibson. You know, it's like
Oh my gosh.
She made me go to the theater 36 times to see Footloose. 36.
Oh, no.
your mother, your first girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, mother couldn't have done that.
36
You know?
times? I'd kill myself.
Guess you don't like Kenny Loggins either, then.
I'm not real fond. I'll be honest with you. I'm not real fond of dancing.
Well,
I could not have imagined that, Danny.
for years I hated Patrick Swayze because you know how many times I was dragged to Dirty Dancing by one young lady
Oh,
or
God.
another.
Yeah, and there
I
you
can
go
I
with
can
number
definitely
2
appreciate
on my
that. Yeah.
list.
That's
You
just
really
like-
want to hate Patrick Swayze? See a movie called Tu Wong Fu.
Oh, God. Oh, I can tell you one thing.
I thought you were going to bring up
Like the Titanic.
the time travel movie. What was it called?
Donnie Darko, that one.
Yeah, I thought he was going to bring up
Yeah,
Donnie
because
Darko.
he is again one of those things we can't say on YouTube in that movie. Yeah.
So scary. Years ago I worked with a guy who was afraid of him because he watched Donnie Darko. He was like it was like my wife with Ramses from Game of Thrones. It was like somehow
Yeah. See, like me, it's like I was dragged to see Titanic so many times, either by friends or my mother, my grandmother, that I just started rooting for the iceberg. I mean, come on, movie. Let's
I
get
went
on
up to
this.
movies that give me trauma today or something.
it wasn't an iceberg. It was a German secret weapon they were testing by the Kriegsmarine for World War One. But
I thought that was
They-
something Danny was supposed to say.
Iceberg, please, iceberg. My money is on you, dude.
I have since come around and have learned to appreciate Celine Dion, but when Titanic was coming out, I was really hoping her heart would not go on anymore.
Thank you.
I have yet to reach that point.
Yeah, well, to
Yeah,
each their
that's
own.
funny.
I think I have a lot. I don't necessarily appreciate Celine Dion's music, but the stuff that she's been through in her life and has managed to come back out swinging is beyond admirable.
Yeah, that's beyond
So-
words.
I think we come up with the topic of a future show: movies I never want to sit through again.
I don't have that kind of time, man. If I ever do a 24-hour stream, we'll get you back for that.
Oh, we should do that. That's fun.
mercy.
Okay, so I will just say I disagree with Danny. the original Tremors is better than Tremors 2, and I just sorry. I don't hate Tremors 2, but come on, come on.
I've only seen the first.
That Kevin Bacon's in that, man.
Yeah, and I love Kevin Bacon in that. He's got the most quotable lines.
This show is becoming third degree of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, really. So okay,
See, I
Shane.
thought that too because of my first choice with the Friday the 13th thing. That's why I kind of leaned into sticking with the Kevin Bacon hatred thing.
Let's see if you can do it for a third round.
No, the third one I've got. If nobody gets it, the third one's just really, really good.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, Shane, what do you got?
I'm really curious to see if he brings up a sequel movie that Kevin Bacon wasn't in that was in the first. I'd love to hear that. Hello?
Hello.
What? Hi. Yeah, you're up.
Oh, I didn't know if my audio went out and I'm in
Oh no, we can hear
this
you.
horrible city. Second pick I'm gonna go with, if you know about it, Selena 2, The Reunion. Now this one didn't have. No, it's not a movie. I'm gonna go with Desperado.
Ah, there we go. El Mariachi sequel. Yes.
Ah,
It is so hard to find that movie El Mariachi. When I finally found it and watched it, I was just like, really? Because I didn't know that was the first movie in that whole trilogy. And El Mariachi is it's more comical.
Yeah.
And it's Robert Rodriguez himself doing this. And he stepped back for Desperado to become one of the brothers and let Antonio Banderas takes the lead. And just the more serious tone that was going on in Desperado, and they connected the storylines. It was like, okay, I see what you did there. The gunfights, I mean, undeniable gunfights. We get a one of the first roles of Danny Trejo. If I remember correctly, he was in it. He was like just supposed to be like an advisor for the Mexican gangsters or whatever on set. And he just stand off to the side and somebody. They were trying to get the guy that was supposed to play the knife thrower. They were trying to get his tattoos right, and it was like, no, I wanted to look more like that guy. And they pointed at Danny, and they went over to him, and it was just like, "How would you like? You ever done any acting?" Da da da. It was like a little bit. When you been in the movie, and he's just like, well, "What are my lines?" He's like, "You don't have to say anything." He's like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "Just be menacing." But he did it, and that movie like launched his career. And undeniable Selma Hayek.
Yep, as Indy points out.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah,
Selma
Selma
Hayek.
Two of the best things about that movie.
And that guy, I can't think of his name, but the guy that plays Mucho, the villain, his brother. I've seen everything I've seen that guy in. I love him. And yeah, Desperado is my pick. So,
Yeah, I love Desperado. And I remember when I first saw El Mariachi, I'd seen Desperado first, just like you. And then I had to track down El Mariachi to see it. I was like, where's Antonio Banderas? I was like, I need Antonio Banderas. This doesn't work without him. This is goofy and stupid. I love Desperado.
Oh, and how can I forget the guitar case full of weapons?
The guitar case. Yeah. That's like the whole shtick.
And Cheech Marin.
Cheech,
and,
of course.
And I have to say, I love that movie because it gave me my first founding hatred for Quentin Tarantino. The man can direct. He can come up with some stories, but when it comes to acting, he needs to go sit down somewhere and stay sitting there. Stay away from the camera. He cannot act.
Nope. I don't think he can direct either, but that's just me. The villain, I had to look it up. His name is Joaquin Del Almeida. He's played the same basic villain in like 50 different movies.
Yeah.
He was like the first villain in 24 as well. I mean, he's great. I love him. He's fantastic. Yeah.
I used to watch 24.
And the sequel 48.
No, there is a sequel.
Wait, no, he wasn't the first villain. The first villain was Dennis Hopper. He was a villain in like season 2 or 3 or something. But yeah, he was
Dennis
one of the
Hopper's
best villains. Dennis Hopper's the villain in real life. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Dennis Hopper's great.
I love Dennis Hopper.
He did that episode of The Twilight Zone that everyone keeps talking about now because it's more culturally relevant now than ever. I'm not going to talk about that.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
Everyone knows exactly.
I know who you're talking about.
I
Hey,
took
Tony's
time to
here.
went and got something to drink on that because I have no opinion because I haven't seen either one of these movies. I don't. I try to avoid westerns at all costs.
You'll love my next pick then.
If the cowboy movie hadn't got Clint Eastwood, a Bone, Tommy Hawk, or some cowboys and aliens, I probably ain't watching it.
We're probably okay then.
Well, it's not a western, so it's okay.
Desperado is also a unique movie in which Antonio Banderas is actually playing a Spaniard.
Hey, what about Zorro?
Oh yeah, it's true.
You-
Zorro.
you-
Right.
But the funny thing is, he's not from Mexico. He's from Spain, not from Mexico. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know, Tony. I was watching. I was rooting for you, but Spliffy just killed it. Spliffy was
He
so
did.
good last night.
You did outstandingly well, actually. But yeah, no, even I had to vote for Spliffy. He was just nailed it.
Okay, so what have you got, Thrash? What's your next pick?
Oh, yeah. Well, funny you should ask. And this is actually, I have to do this in tandem because it's an actual franchise. But I am going to start with it's a few dollars more, in my opinion, is better than a fistful of dollars.
Of course it
Definitely.
is.
Now, I absolutely love A Fistful of Dollars as an adaptation of a Kurosawa flick. Great. But the chemistry between Lee Van Cleef and Clint Eastwood is palpable. And I'm going to butcher his name. Please forgive me. Gian Volatone, who plays Ramon Rosa in Fistful, and then Indio in Few Dollars More.
Yep.
Indio is such a more three-dimensional. Remember I said about three-dimensional villains that they work the best. He's so much more of a three-dimensional villain. Indio is great. I mean, Ramon was great. Ramon was great in the first one, but Indio he's like one of the legendary villains in the Leone universe. Do you know he was actually originally slated to play Tuco in The Good, Bad, and the Ugly? He was unavailable, so they actually ended up having to recast it, and then of course they got Eli Wallach. But when the part from characters from
What the heck
Few
is
More into The Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
You might want to repeat that last part because your audio cut out.
Yeah, for just a sec.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not your fault.
When Leone was conceptualizing The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, he wanted to have all three of the primary characters from A Few Dollars More and make it the triumvirate.
Right.
Mhm.
It was going to be Lee Van Cleef, Clint Eastwood, and Gian Fontana. He was unavailable, so they recast him.
Oh.
And I thought very well because let's face facts. Eli Wallach steals the
he's so
movie
good.
in The Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And while we're on the subject, because I mentioned it was going to be a franchise, the masterpiece is the third in the trilogy, which is actually a
The
prequel.
first. Yeah.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So it's almost like it's a masterpiece in reverse order. It would,
Hey, I
So that's
totally
my
agree
pick.
with you, Thrash. I really do. Everything
That's
you
a
said
good
is
one.
like the words right out of my mouth, and I thank you for picking a couple of westerns that I actually seen.
Those are good ones, though. Those are like primo.
I
Yeah.
absolutely adore A Fistful of Dollars, but I do think
Mhm.
it's undeniable that A Few Dollars More is just like it's like a whole different dimension. It's like it's adding so much more to the story.
Yeah, that's like
So
that
the
cherry. on
characters
top.
are a lot more dimensional, whereas in the first movie they're all basically just cardboard.
And I really love the way the spaghetti westerns have that gritty look to them that you just don't get from nothing made in the United
Mhm.
States. Really
Yeah.
don't.
Absolutely.
I love a good spaghetti western.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Home run, Thrash. Good job.
Let's go.
It would have been more appropriate for me to say that last time, but Okay, Tracy, so now it's your turn.
Okay. Basically, I like any of the Batman movies with the exception of Michael Keaton playing Batman. I like, or Michael, yeah. Wasn't he like the first?
Yeah, he was the
I
first.
really did not like him playing Batman. I thought like Val Kilmer or someone was a lot better or somebody like that.
What?
Yeah, I'm not.
You're blowing our minds, Tracy.
Well, I can't help it. I just think Michael Keaton was better in, like, a movie like the one where he was in with Shelley Long and the Fonz. I can't think of the name of Night Shift.
Night Shift. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he was better in that movie, but I never pegged him for being any kind of like superhero like ever.
yeah. Okay.
That's just my take.
No, no, you're entitled to your opinion.
This finally happened. Somebody left me speechless. I didn't think that was possible.
I honestly thought you were going to try to say the second one with Keaton was better than the first.
No, anti-Keaton, both ways.
Just, because some people like the Danny DeVito Penguin better than the Jack Nicholson
On my
Joker.
list.
Well, I do too, but you can't have both in the.
So you're
Yeah.
going right past all the Keatons, because I would have agreed with you with the second one. Maybe at least you would have a valid argument, but I'm sorry, Tracy. I love you, but I can't go with Val Kilmer over Keaton. I just
I
can't do it.
know. Well, I mean, like, and I'm saying anybody else besides Keaton.
Uh-huh.
Keaton just is more of a comedic actor than a superhero to me. He just comes off like, like a Robin Williams type. I never think of him in the same vein as being like, a superhero like Christopher Reeves or George Reeves.
They
Batman
also
has
Adam
this
West.
long history with camp. Like, Adam West was not.
I love Adam West.
Come on.
Even though he was
they
in really
also
like, the big guy, I still think, Adam West is my Batman I grew up with. So nobody could do him no wrong. And same with Captain Kirk. He's, Shatner's only Kirk I know.
Go ahead,
They
Shane.
also doubted Bruce Willis as playing John McClane for Die Hard because of Soap, and he set the standard for the pay scale for action movie heroes
Totally.
coming off of a comedy.
Yeah, okay. Okay. You see, now you're enlightening me.
And Bruce Willis.
But if
also
you don't
likes
like
Shane.
if you don't like Keaton, that's okay. That's
Hey,
okay.
you're allowed to not like
I
Keaton.
think
It's okay.
I like him in different stuff. I liked him in Mr. Mom, but I didn't like totally different genres.
I totally disagree. I think Michael Keaton was probably the best Batman outside of Adam West that ever existed.
He was really
Yeah.
good. I don't know if he was
Yeah,
good,
I like him so much better than some of the later dudes that played Batman.
See,
I
the
did
problem
not
with
like
me.
Christian Bale.
The problem with me is
Christian
like
Bale's great.
I see him as two different characters. There's Batman and there's Bruce Wayne.
what I
And I'm like,
meant.
you asked me to pick the best Batman or the best Bruce Wayne. It's gonna be two different answers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's easy. Everybody's entitled,
And I do agree, Keaton's not the best Batman. He might be
No.
he might be the best Bruce Wayne though. I really like him as
Mhm.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. And they should have done him like the Hulk, Bill Bixby,
Yeah.
Banner, and
And then put Lou Ferrigno in a
Ooh.
Batman
Ferrigno
costume.
Ooh, I wonder. Ooh, that's kind of a.
See, that's what I'm
That'd be
talking
neat angle.
about. I
You know?
just don't think that he was meant for Batman. Bruce Wayne, yes. Batman, no.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's my opinion, though.
No, you're allowed. And if we do want to talk about Batman Returns, I will say it has Michelle Pfeiffer and Christopher
Well, she's
Walken.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yes.
I like her. She's cool.
So there's definitely an argument to be made for that.
There's never been a movie of hers I've never liked, so she's always.
I'd
done
have to
good
think,
stuff.
but yeah, nothing comes to mind right away.
She's really
Dark
good.
Shadows.
Oh yeah, she was in
Okay.
the
Never
movie.
saw it. but I don't know.
Okay,
A weird
never saw
movie.
that. I've seen the TV show, but never, or the soap opera, but never the movie.
I
Hey,
fell in love with her when she did Into the Night with Jeff Goldblum.
I just want to
She
point
was
out for the
so
record
good.
that Indy made a typo. It's Kevin Conroy, not Kevin Conway.
Oh,
Indy made a mistake. He's not
Uh-oh.
perfect.
He won't be able to sleep tonight on account of that.
I know. It's gonna
oh
bug him.
God, the poor guy.
Poor guy.
Sorry, Andy, I love you, dude, but don't stay up for this.
Okay, so it is my turn again. So I am going to. From Russia with Love. I think it's
Yeah.
Dr. No. Yeah. I don't even think that there's a debate there. Dr. No is a great movie for what it is,
Mhm.
but
Russia.
after you've seen other James Bond movies, it's a slog to get through. And
Yeah.
I don't love it. I think it's fine as a James Bond movie, but From Russia with Love is so much better. From Russia with
No,
Love is like
everything about it, from the
it's
writing
got
to the sets to
yeah,
everything.
and the whole like the thing that most of
Mhm.
it is set on a train. It's like an old Poirot with James Bond in it. I mean, come on,
Yeah,
it's so good.
yeah. I like that fight on top of the train as it's moving. It's wonderful.
And Robert Shaw is so scary. He's one of the scariest
Mhm,
villains in
mhm.
all of Bond. And he's not even like a big villain. He's just like he's a henchman more than anything else. But
Mhm.
he's so scary.
Mhm.
Now,
And for-
help me out here. I haven't seen the movie in ages. He was initially one of those German super children, but was taken by the Soviets and trained as an agent. Is that how
yeah,
it works?
basically,
Oh.
yeah.
Okay,
So
thank you. I
that's
haven't
the
seen the movie in
idea.
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I thought was a great premise. In fact, don't they recall that premise for a less successful James Bond movie, View to a Kill?
Yeah, they do.
Whoa.
They recalled it for a less successful Captain America movie called The Winter Soldier too.
Hey, that's also on my list of better sequels.
Hey, that's on my list too.
Well, there goes mine. Let me scratch another
Yeah.
one off.
But yes, Doctor No is a great Bond film, but From Russia with Love is a superior
There's
Bond
like,
film. So
yeah,
yes.
yeah. From Russia with Love is more classic than No.
And when you consider at the time they didn't know it was going to be like the longest franchise in film history, I mean that may have been the last Bond film if it wasn't so good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
all
Cubby
the
Broccoli did have eyes on like it being a huge franchise. Like when he
Mhm.
signed all these actors, he signed them for like 6-picture deals, which was unheard of back then.
Mhm.
So yeah, they were hoping for that, but they didn't know it was going to happen. And if From Russia with Love had been a flop, there wouldn't have been a Goldfinger, which
Mhm,
some may say
mhm.
was a good thing.
I like
only
Goldfinger. I'm like,
leave
Hey, Goldfinger.
I love all the James Bond movies pretty much equally, except for Moonraker, which I think is a little bit above all the rest
My
of them.
favorite one.
My favorite
Oh,
one too,
no.
for some reason. I
She
guess
doesn't have
because-
braces, Danny.
because I know that the end of that movie is a Mandela effect, and the chick had braces.
Gary says he met Richard Keel. Apparently, Richard Keel's a really nice guy. That's what I've heard. I never.
Wow. That's so cool.
Moonraker was one of the sillier
Airport
ones.
Watch.
I will grant you that much, but I loved it. My dad took me to see it at
It's
the drive-in.
definitely better than A View to a Kill.
Oh,
Oh,
I wanted to like that one so much and I couldn't.
Or that
You know?
last Pierce
Theme.
Brosnan one with Madonna. That was so
Duran
bad.
Duran.
I had a thing
Oh, I
for
love the
Grace
theme song.
Jones,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
really wanted to love You to a Kill, and I just
Yeah.
couldn't.
Hey, well, take note. Just because Moonraker is my favorite Bond movie, don't mean Roger Moore is my favorite James Bond.
Mhm.
My favorite James Bond is Pierce Brosnan.
I think
Well,
Pierce
Yours
Brosnan
hasn't
was a
been.
great Bond. He
I
just
grew
didn't
up
have
with
a
the
great
Remington
movie.
Steel thing, so I guess that's why.
I'll
No,
always
I
be-
actually completely agree. Pierce Brosnan is I think the best choice for Bond. I
Since
just
my
don't think he
dad
ever
worked
got a
on the
movie that really like
titles-
played to his strengths.
my
There's
dad
little,
worked
like,
on the titles.
shines
for
of it here
those.
and there, but
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
You know,
Sorry.
to me, he was always James Bond before he was James Bond.
Yeah, same.
See-
My mom used to watch Remington Steele all the time, and she would always
See-
say, "This is James Bond." I'm like, "Yeah, that definitely looks like James Bond."
See, my dad actually did the titles while he was on when he was on set with Maurice Binder. You know, he was under contract with them over there, and I've always loved Sean Connery, and that's kind of like who my heart goes to is Sean Connery, because I figure those were the movies that my dad did the titles for. You know, after that,
Wow, Tony.
No,
my dad did a
It's
lot
really
of
funny
a
that
lot
with
of
all the
early
Sean
ones.
Connery I've seen and how much I love Bond, that my favorite Sean Connery movies have nothing to do with James Bond.
Yeah,
You really
well,
like
you know,
Zardoz, huh?
yeah. Or in the
Outfit,
hospitals.
baby. I want one.
Yeah,
Tony,
yeah.
you started with the absolute worst Bond movie, so you know just everything from there is a step up. It's only uphill from
right.
there.
Oh,
He's only seen Die Another Day. Like it's the
Vin
only
made-
Bond movie he's ever seen. That's
Vin
crazy.
mentions the Lebensborn babies. Those were a thing, but there was that mythological idea that those were just regular babies of German ancestry. They were actually experimenting with genetics. It was sort of like a precursor to the eugenics wars in Star Trek. The idea that they were actually manipulating to make super babies that would create super soldiers for the next wave of imperialism. So it's sort of the extension of that. Is what if I remember correctly. But still, go ahead.
We're coming up on the 30th anniversary of the eugenics wars.
When the Star Trek Experience in Vegas was still open, they mentioned that. They actually talk about how there's 2 parallel timelines and they blame Q for some reason, but that's why the eugenic wars were in the 90s and we are not.
Enterprise tried to retcon it to say that it was like a secret war happening behind the scenes and nobody really knew it was happening, that kind of thing. So, and for some reason, the same actor, Brent Spiner, was there. He was involved in the eugenics program for some reason because he had to be.
Wow.
And yeah, you're right. Connery was in Highlander 2, one of the greatest sequels ever made. I mean, worst sequels ever made.
What I meant to say was,
it's ironic that a movie that is called the tagline to the movie is "There can be only one." They decide to make sequels to it. What the hell?
And proving their theory.
Exactly, proving the point. Anyway,
I should have called it. They should have been only one.
There should have been only one. Yes. Pretty sure I titled my video on those sequels that. Okay, Dan, what do you got?
All righty. Let me get the list here. People's going to disagree with me on this, but this show's been too agreeable because I've agreed with most of everything said, and people's agreed with me, and that's just not working for me. So and it's going to surprise me if anybody at all agrees with me. But I'm going to make the statement in my mind that I think Psycho 2 was better than the original Psycho. And nobody's going to agree with that. But Psycho 2 definitely was better. Not just because it was in color, not just because it was basically the carrying on of the Psycho story, but it was better because of the twist and the way it was presented and the only thing better about the original might have been some of the direction, because Alfred Hitchcock was a genius.
All I can say is I've seen both, but I only remember the first.
Yeah.
Dan, I'll give you this. I didn't think you were going to have a worse take than Tremors 2, but you have succeeded.
Well, like I said, I didn't expect nobody to agree with that, but for me, it was a better watch. I enjoy Psycho 2 better than I enjoyed the first one.
I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. Psycho 2 just feels like it's trying too hard to be an 80s slasher movie. It's not like living up to what Psycho was at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than Psycho 3.
There was that 3.
But it was hard to beat Psycho 15.
Actually, Psycho 4, which was like a prequel, was actually pretty good.
I mean, I'll give them full marks for effort. They were really trying. They just, in my opinion, well, like I say, I saw it and have no recollection of it. It just didn't land with me. So it's right up there with City of the Dead. You know, it's like.
And poor Anthony Perkins. He spent his whole career trying to not be Norman Bates. And then he completely ran out of money. He was like on the skids basically when he agreed to do Psycho 2. And you can see it in his performance. He's so resenting the fact that this is the only thing he can do.
Oh man, I think that helped add to it, made it more real.
He's such a good actor too.
Was he?
It's bad when I pick stuff to the list.
Anthony Perkins had some good stuff. Yeah.
But let's face it. I think Psycho was his best film, and probably because he just leaned into it so much. I think it was. I'm not saying he's a psychopath. I'm just saying the part really worked for him. Sort of like James Dean. A lot of people say James Dean was such a great actor. No, he wasn't. He was great in the roles they put him in because they were tailor made for James Dean. He had very little width. So I think Anthony Perkins just happened to stumble into a role that he nailed. But I don't think he. I mean, I've seen him in some of his other movies, like Tall Story and stuff like that. I mean, they're not without their charm, but you know, Rod Steiger, he's not.
No, I wouldn't put him in the same category though either.
Apparently, Anthony Perkins was more of a stage actor than a movie actor. So, and I never saw any of his stage work, so I can't speak to that because I'm not old enough for that.
I wasn't too rich enough to buy the tickets.
Yeah.
He was also so far in the closet they were finding skeletons.
Well, yeah, there's that. But like most people who were closeted in Hollywood back then, it was an open secret in Hollywood.
I know.
Okay, Danny. I got nothing else to say to that. So Shane, now it's your turn.
I picked it because I knew people would disagree.
And we did. In
Vehemently.
droves.
I was tired of all the agreement going on here. I tired of everybody kissing each other's ass up over here.
Well,
You're funny.
Danny will disagree with me on this one, but I'm going to go with Halloween Kills because
He deserves whatever just happened to
Nah.
him.
the impactfulness of this. No, I gotta go with this. Might be controversial. Y'all, some might argue me on this one, but Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh.
Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
Diplomatic
come-
immunity. That's why.
That's part of it. Lethal Weapon 1 came off like kind of, it felt like a generic yet a structure that a lot of movies bounce off of. Two mismatched guys got to work together, be partners, and they,
Buddy cop.
form
Yeah.
a bond and save the day. I like Lethal Weapon 2 more because, all right, we got them established. Now let's see them further down the line in action. And like the opening scene with the flamethrower guys, just like was hilarious. Just dealing with the whole situation, take your clothes off, run out there, flap your arms like a chicken. It was just like, well, you got Danny Glover to do that. But the whole situation that they're dealing with, the story itself is, not your generic, oh, these bad guys are ex-military, they're making mercury switch bombs, we have the bro guy fight at the end. It's like, okay, standard stuff. Now we got to deal with a diplomatic situation that could have, worldwide implications. That could send two countries to war. About dealing with a diplomat and him using that power to do what he has to do. It's like, how do we work our way around this? You got to actually come up with a strategy that can't just be solved with pow, 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 pow. We got to outsmart the criminal. Also with that is Riggs. How we know about his past, his wife that died, and watching him slowly open his heart back up to somebody and actually end up in a relationship with her. It's like, oh, well, maybe he's healing. Just for it to happen again. It was like, and then the monster was let loose. And it was just like, ooh. And of course, Danny Glover gets the last laugh. It's just been revoked.
One of the most quoted lines in
Love
cinema
that.
history, by the way.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love Lethal Weapon 2.
I absolutely agree with you. God darn it. I hate being agreeable today. but to be honest, I like the later Lethal Weapon movies with Chris Rock in them a lot better.
Oh
than
God. Okay. No more.
I find them a lot more entertaining when Chris Rock joined the crew.
I can't go with you there.
You know, I hate Mel Gibson with a fiery passion and will not retract that. That being said, I think he was at his best in Lethal Weapon 2. That takedown scene where he's like quoting, he starts by quoting the Three Stooges. By the way, he's considered one of the leading experts in the world on the Three Stooges, by the way, if there is such a thing. Him and Michael Chiklis, by the way, who ended up playing Curly in the made-for-TV movie about the
Oh yeah.
their backstories. Yeah, he plays Curly and is outstanding in it. But yeah, Mel Gibson really encapsulates the spirit of the Three Stooges, and he starts with doing the Three Stooges and then goes into a fight routine, and it's like really hardcore. I thought he did a very nice job in the movie. I love the dynamic, the chemistry between him and Danny Glover, and then with the addition of Joe Pesci, which I didn't realize how much that was needed until it was there. And it's like finally you have comedy, drama, and farce. You have all three of them put together, and it creates a triumvirate that is absolutely outstanding. I mean, speaking of quoted lines, they fuck you at the drive-through. I mean, Joe Pesci.
Well, yeah,
really.
totally.
So, yes, and
I
and
didn't mention Joe Pesci. Okay, yeah.
So yes,
Okay.
I will grant you. I think 2 is actually better than 1.
I
agree with
also
Yeah.
agree. I love Lethal Weapon 1. I think it's fantastic,
Mhm.
but Lethal Weapon 2 is just it's more
Yes,
refined.
yeah,
It works a
yeah.
And
lot.
let me point out that when I was talking about Chris Rock, that was called sarcasm.
Yeah, I got it. I got it when you did that.
I kind of figured. I kind of figured.
Just want everybody to know.
You're not completely hopeless, Dan. Good job.
Completely. How
Is
rude.
2 the one
I
where Murtaugh's son has a friend who gets shot and killed? Is that the second one? I don't remember. They all
That's
run
the
together in
second
my head.
They kinda do.
No, that was part 1 because he was standing on the bridge when he got the phone call on his car cellular phone. That, if I remember correctly, I think that happened in part 1.
Yeah, I can't remember honestly. Now I got to watch them all again. Well, I'll watch the first 3. Won't watch the 4th one.
I'll give Chris Rock one credit for part 4 is when he's in the car with Danny and Mel, and Pesci pulls up like, oh, what did this perp do? And he just goes off on him. He's like, oh, I'm just a black man in the back of a police car. You assume I'm a criminal, and that just goes off of him. And just the whole, look at this badge, look at this gun. He's like, hey, calm down. I love that scene. The rest of
Her
that movie
boyfriend-
can.
Her boyfriend gets wasted in part 1.
Okay.
Well, it was part 1. No,
Yeah.
crap.
Thank
I
you.
forgot that too.
Joe Cousin Oliver Pesci.
The kid is shot in the 3rd one, according to Indy. Whatever.
It
It happens in all of the movies.
Wow.
Poor Robbie Wrist.
I know, right?
Poor guy.
Although could have been worse. Could have been number 7 from Married with Children.
7. Yeah.
He stopped acting altogether. He did. I think he
Of
works
the
at a
2
Walmart
7s
now.
that were on TV back then, he was definitely the worst.
Yeah.
Career never had a chance.
The bomb on the toilet, that's the 3rd one. I remember that one because they filmed it at Orlando City Hall, which is really close to where I lived at the time.
No
They blew up
way.
the old Orlando City Hall for that. Anyway,
Mm.
Lethal Weapon 2, good choice. I do completely agree. And Thrash is right. I quote Lethal Weapon 2 so much, especially at the drive-thru. Okay, so Thrash, what is your next pick? Well, your last pick. You and Tracy get to go one more time.
Are we going to do another one, by the way?
Yeah, we're going to do this again.
That'd be
We
fun.
almost have to. But for my last pick of the day, now, as I was just talking about, I absolutely hate Mel Gibson with a fiery passion and will die on that hill. So what better choice for my last choice than The Road Warrior versus Mad Max?
Okay.
On my list.
A
On my list.
love to Mel Gibson. I'm sorry, he's just such a great actor. I can't really. But anyhow, now don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Mad Max. It's a wonderful film. I'm not Australian, so a lot of the cultural references go right over my head. But it's just so well put together. It's very, very authentic. The villains, they're a biker gang with an insane leader. I can believe that. I mean, it's just very, very approachable. And he is a renegade cop and opinions divided. Is it right after the atomic war or right before? But either way, Australia's economics is collapsing, so the police are just so overwhelmed they can't cope. All these things aren't all that far-fetched, and it's about a cop who is wronged and goes on a quest for revenge. What could be more approachable? It's like literally something out of an old Western. I absolutely love it. But what I really, really, really love is The Road Warrior. I love every scene in that movie. I love every character in that movie. It's one of the most entertaining films ever made. And even though it's really high action, high entertainment value, the story is really, really solid. It's not like one of the where it's like all flash and no substance. There is equal elements of substance and style. It's one of my favorite all-time films, which triggered not only the exploitation obsession in America in the 80s, but it galvanized America's obsession with post-apocalyptic literature. And at that point, I will leave it to you folks.
No, I mean, I think it's hard to argue that Road Warrior isn't far superior to the original Mad Max. And like you, I do appreciate the original Mad Max, but it's kind of clunky because it was made by a first-time director who, had like $10 to his name.
Yeah.
I've talked to some of my Australian friends about this series, and when they talk about the original Mad Max, and I ask them, "Do you think it happened before or after the apocalypse?" So they're like, "In rural Australia, it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Like, that's just the way it is there."
Yeah, Badlands.
Yeah,
I mean, I absolutely agree. Yeah.
How can you disagree?
Well, all the vehicles, just this time period, we're slapping stuff together to make a vehicle and using them to go into battle with. The whole deception plot with the tanker, mainly Max getting a shred of humanity back.
Like he's having to like grow claws way back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we left him. He disheveled man who got his revenge, but still lost his family, and coming to the Road Warriors, just like he's gonna stay away from all attachments. Comes across these people and it's just like, ooh, attachment. I'm gonna help you people. He could have easily turned around and said no, and bugged off, but he decided to help these people. It's like, okay, maybe this is my purpose, and he did it for him, and success. Took out a whole gang, an army, if you will, single-handedly. It's just like, right. And the dog.
Well, the kid with the boomerang helped. Yeah.
Oh, boomerang kick. Yeah. I'll catch it.
Nice.
Vim, I think that at one time the Road Warrior was in the Guinness Book of World Records as the movie where, I'm not sure how it was phrased, but the leading man has the smallest number of lines. Mel Gibson is the leading man, but has virtually no dialogue in the movie. It's everyone else.
Interesting.
Yeah. He does. It's more than a dozen, but he has the least amount of dialogue of any leading man in a major motion picture.
And yeah, Andy, I'm pretty sure officially that's the answer, is that it happened between the first and second movies. But I like to think of all the Mad Max movies as each one is like in a different universe, because like the continuity doesn't really work between them. So you kind of have to look at it that way. And well, I don't know, it makes it easier to watch them.
Since Indy brought up, I'd like to pitch mine, and someone actually disproved this to me, and I forget who and how they did it, but I still like Mad Max is sort of they're in on the beach mode. The war has happened, which has destroyed the northern hemisphere, and the southern hemisphere, their economy has collapsed because with no northern hemisphere, no supplies, no markets, no that type of thing, and they're trying to make it work on their own. The Road Warriors, after the economy has fully collapsed. And that's where they're basically living hand to mouth in a survivalist. But the war actually happened before the first one. That's why the first one is dystopian. The second one is post-apocalyptic. And we all know the differences between those two.
And then in the third one, you start to get, the effects of fallout and all that stuff, where they've got like Vim brings up the radiation checks and all that. So yeah, that works.
Are we even going to talk about the one with Tina Turner?
We can.
It's really cool.
It's not great, but I love it.
It's not bad.
Once again, I'll pick the crappy one because I like the one with Tina Turner better than any of them.
I like the concept of the Thunderdome. The kids are very annoying.
Shut up!
Can't go wrong with Tina Turner, boy.
No, I mean,
I love Tina Turner.
I don't think Beyond Thunderdome is all that bad.
No, it's the weakest of the three, in my opinion, at least. But it's not without its charm.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think the Gyro Captain is so underutilized because the Gyro Captain is so great in the second one, and then he's like bookended in the third.
Yeah,
and I'm like, how can you not utilize him more?
He was a really interesting character, right? Yeah.
And he's not even the same person. Why not bring him back? Like he comes to find out, oh, sorry, mate, I didn't know it was you. I stole the camel from. Shit happens, eh? But no, he's two totally different people. I think it would have been ironic if we found out it was the Gyro Captain.
Well, Tony agrees with you. He thinks Beyond Thunderdome is his favorite. So, fair enough.
I got my last one.
Yep. Your last shot. What do you got?
Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, there we go. The most obvious one.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I just think that one's a lot better than the first. The first one was so slow. I fell asleep. when it first aired in Chicago, my dad's ad agency got tickets the first day it came out, and here I am, like not even a half hour into the movie, and I'm like snoring. But when The Empire Strikes Back came out, I was like glued. It just seemed like there was a lot more spaceship fighting and a lot more, graphics and such.
There is more action in the second one, and I do think the plot is a little.
Somebody
bit
tell me this. I don't know why, but for some reason, when I watch Star Wars Part 1, it looks a certain way. But when you look at Part 2, it just looks so much more clear and pristine. It's almost like different kinds of film or something.
Yeah, it was the same thing. It was
Funny.
George Lucas was using cheaper stock because American Zoetrope at the time, which Lucasfilm was like a branch of at that point, didn't have a whole ton of money. Like all their money they made from the Godfather movies. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all the money they had. And
Well, he didn't even take a salary. He just
And
said,
also-
just pay me in a cut.
the
of the
original
product.
Star Wars was directed by George Lucas, who was like an indie filmmaker. He didn't really care about things like film stock. Whereas the sequel was directed by Irvin Kershner, who was a professional Hollywood guy. So that's why it looks a lot cleaner.
Point. Awesome.
So those are some answers to your questions.
I really didn't know that. But
I
I
know about
always,
Kirchner. I
I
like
always
that.
thought Empire looked better and come off as a more professional movie.
Mhm.
Agree, because it was.
Well, not to mention Lucas and Cameron and many others, and it's not wrong, but when you're making a movie and all you're doing is cobbling the best bits of other movies, you can only do so much. I mean, Star Wars is basically the Hidden Fortress meets Dan Busters if it was set in space, right?
Yeah.
Whereas The Empire Strikes Back is actually a story that was written as a story. It's a true hero's journey with betrayal and plot twists. And spoiler, we find out that Darth Vader is actually Anakin Skywalker.
What?
Whoa!
The tense moment of is
Scary.
Harrison Ford gonna return for the third movie? Let's
You
put him on
know.
ice.
And thankfully it steers us away from the incestuous subplot. Thank you, Shane. Elephant in the room. But yes, on every single level, Empire Strikes. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Star Wars as a kid. I still do, but Empire is definitely better.
Mhm.
I did recently watch all three of them with my son.
Me too.
And the second one is easily the best. It's really hard to say otherwise.
Yeah.
Now show him the sequels.
Why ruin his day? Oh,
No, we've been looking for somebody. I know a couple people that have done this experiment. They showed their kids the original, and they liked it. Then they showed them the sequels. It was just like, ugh, and they liked the originals. Then they show them the prequels, and they'd be like, okay. And like, which ones did you like the best? And it was like the first ones. Which ones you hate the most? The Disney. You're like, really? Every kid is like, yep.
I did show him Rogue One, but I didn't show him any of the other sequels because Rogue One's the only good one.
Yeah.
I after the second trilogy, I couldn't get my heart started. I must confess, I never saw any of the Disney ones. I'm sorry.
I don't need to get
bother.
into it.
Don't bother. Don't bother.
Oh, I saw that pieces of crap that came later, boy.
I like how the fan base was completely divided on like The Last Jedi. Like there were some who thought it was like the greatest movie ever, and there were some who thought it was the worst movie ever. And then Rise of Skywalker came out and united the fan base. They all agreed it's terrible.
But Tracy, before history rolls over it, outstanding choice,
Oh, yeah,
possibly
great
the best of the day.
Yes.
Possibly the best of the day.
Yeah. I mean,
They
that's
fly
I was
now.
saving the
Was on my list.
Damien's gonna be mad. He can't talk about it.
Oh no!
He'll talk about it anyway.
We've brought things back up before, and
Oh,
we'll
yeah, it's
again.
totally
So
fine.
let,
And I
let
like
Damien
hearing other
talk.
people's takes on things. You know.
Actually,
But I'm
when I-
actually surprised by how much of my list is
that
still
was the
going.
first one I put on it, but I tried to stay away from it because it was so obvious.
I've
Oh, I'm
actually got a
sorry.
couple more obvious ones on here that I'm surprised we haven't brought up, but we'll get to that next
yeah,
time.
I
Me
got
too.
one.
Me too.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Yeah.
I haven't even talked about my absolute favorite sequel yet. So
Ooh. Can't
it's a
wait
little
for that
sizzle
one.
for next week.
So,
Anyway, I wasn't really sure if I was going to have one next week because of Thanksgiving weekend, but I've conferred with the family. We figured out what our plans are. I can totally do it next week. Like I got no other plans on Sunday, so we will be back. Okay, and until then, I'm gonna say, cha.
See you guys tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jenny, I do have a
Any
show.
honorable mentions?
Tonight.
Oh well,
We're gonna do another show, so it ain't no honorable.
we're gonna do
doing
another
the show
show,
next
so
week.
no honorable mentions yet.
Just our honorable.
Honorable mentions.
Be sure to pick up
Paradox.
Ian McGill.
See you
And
tonight,
yeah,
guys.
yeah, tonight.
Yeah.
There's another
Tonight.
show. Thrash, Danny, yeah,
Sarah.
and I'll be there.
Thank you and good night.
Hey guys.